Legends of Greek Mythology. The Story of Perseus. Part 3. The Homecoming of Perseus. When the news that Perseus had returned with the head of the Medusa was spread abroad, what a rejoicing there was in the island of Seriphus! King Polydectes alone was not glad. Nevertheless, he pretended to be, and he made a great feast, at which the minstrels sang of the great deeds of Danae's son. As all the enemies of his mother and himself were gathered together at the feast, Perseus held up the head of the Medusa before them, and so made an end of them, King Polydectes and all. During the absence of Perseus, Danae had been treated with great cruelty by King Polydectes, but she had one true friend. This was Dictys the fisherman, the brother of Polydectes. He had done all that he could to help her. Perseus, being now the strongest man in the kingdom, could do as he pleased. Therefore he proclaimed Dictys king. Then he took his mother and Andromeda and set sail for Argos, which was his own rightful kingdom. He did not wish to supplant his grandfather, King Acrisius, but he hoped that Acrisius, if he were still living, would have forgotten his fear of the oracle, and would be glad to see the daughter and grandson whom he had sent away in the brass-bound chest so long ago. By this time the report of all that Perseus had done had spread through the neighboring kingdoms, and his deeds were told by every fireside. Great enthusiasm prevailed among the people when it was known that the hero was coming among them. Long before the ship of Perseus could reach Argos, Acrisius heard that his grandson was coming home. Instead of being pleased at this news, he was terrified, for he remembered well how the oracle had foretold that he should be killed by his own grandson. He would not even remain in Argos, but went away secretly in the night to the city of Larissa in Thessaly. Now it happened that the ship of Perseus, having been blown somewhat out of its course, took him also to Larissa, where he arrived soon after King Acrisius. He found the people of that city celebrating the yearly games, in which, with the permission of King Acrisius, they asked Perseus to join them. King Acrisius did not wish to meet his grandson, but he sat looking on among the spectators. Cheer after cheer went up as Perseus performed some uncommon feat of strength or skill. King Acrisius could not help feeling proud of his grandson. To close the games for the day, the young men were throwing the discus. Perseus threw it farther than it had ever been thrown before. To please the people, who were very enthusiastic, he threw it a second time. It flew up higher than ever, in a splendid semicircle, but as it descended, a sudden gust of wind came in from the sea and blew it to one side. It fell among the spectators, struck King Acrisius, and killed him instantly. Perseus knew by the cries he heard that someone had been killed, and he was very much shocked to find that it was his grandfather, of whose presence in Larissa he knew nothing. So, in this way, the words of the oracle came true. Perseus reigned in his grandfather's place, in Argos, and was wise and just, and much loved by his people. The end.